In the heart of the lush, rolling hills of Ebonwood lay a village steeped in age-old traditions and whispered secrets. The villagers often spoke of the shadows that flitted between the trees, casting fleeting figures that seemed almost alive. They believed these shadows were remnants of lost souls, trapped between worlds. It was in this enigmatic setting that a girl named Zora lived, known for her peculiar ability to communicate with these shadows. Zora was unlike any other villager. While children her age spent their days playing in the sun-drenched meadows, she could often be found wandering through the ancient woods, conversing with the shadows that danced along the forest floor. The elders regarded her with a mixture of awe and fear, believing that her gift connected her to the spirit realm. Despite the village's suspicion, Zora embraced her uniqueness, feeling a sense of belonging among the shadows. One day, Zora overheard an alarming conversation between two elders while she was gathering herbs near the village square. They spoke of a terrible curse that had plagued Ebonwood for generations, casting a pall over the land and its people. This curse, they claimed, was the result of a long-forgotten feud between two clans, the Lorans and the Moros. Each clan blamed the other for the misfortunes that befell the village. The shadows Zora spoke to confirm the tale. They whispered secrets of the curse, revealing that it could only be lifted by uniting the two clans through a bond of love, something that had been thought impossible given their bitter rivalry. Zora felt a stirring within her, perhaps her unique connection to the shadows could help her find a way to break the curse. One fateful evening, as the sun dipped below the horizon, painting the sky in hues of orange and pink, Zora ventured deeper into the woods than she ever had before. Drawn by an otherworldly pull, she stumbled upon a hidden glade where shadows flickered and twisted in ways she had never seen. It was here that she first met Kale, a member of the rival clan, the Moros. Kale, tall and brooding, was attempting to communicate with the shadows, just as Zora had always done. Their eyes met, and for a moment, time seemed to stand still. It was as if the shadows themselves recognized their connection. With a mix of surprise and weariness, they began to talk, discovering they both shared a fascination for the ethereal beings that lurked in the twilight. As days turned into weeks, Zora and Kale continued to meet in the glade, sharing stories of their lives and their clans. They laughed, exchanged dreams, and began to see beyond the hostility that their families had instilled in them. The shadows danced around them, urging them to embrace their budding friendship, which soon blossomed into something deeper. The shadows whispered ancient prophecies to Zora, hinting that their love might hold the key to lifting the curse that had haunted their village. But with each secret shared, they also faced the fear of their clan's reactions. Both felt the weight of their family's expectations and the long-standing animosity that surrounded them. As their feelings grew, Zora and Kale realized they had to confront their families. The day finally came when they decided to reveal their relationship to their respective clans. Zora's heart raced as she stood before the villagers, Kale by her side. She spoke of love, forgiveness, and the need to heal the wounds that had divided their families for far too long. The reaction was explosive. Some villagers were supportive, while others were outraged. Zora's father, an elder of the Lorans, vehemently opposed their union, insisting it was treasonous to their clan. Kale's family reacted similarly, fearing that their son had betrayed his own blood. Faced with their family's fury, Zora and Kale were forced to make a fateful decision. They would abandon their clans and escape to a place where their love could flourish without the burden of their family's hatred. With heavy hearts, they said their goodbyes to the shadows that had been their confidants and guides. As they ventured into the unknown, the shadows began to swirl around them, whispering prophecies of hope and despair. In that moment, they understood that love was a powerful force, one that could heal and unite. But it was also a path fraught with peril. The shadows revealed that their love could either break the curse or doom them both. As Zora and Kale sought refuge in the mountains beyond Ebonwood, their families learned of their departure. Outraged, Both clans banded together, uniting in their desire to reclaim their children and restore their long-standing feud. They marched into the mountains, demanding that Zora and Kale return home. A confrontation loomed. As tensions escalated, Zora and Kale stood at the forefront, determined to prove that love could transcend the hate that had defined their clans for generations. The shadows gathered around them, providing strength and resolve. In a moment of desperation, Zora called upon the shadows to reveal their true power. As she raised her hands, the shadows surged forth, creating a mesmerizing display that captivated both clans. They showed visions of the past, the pain of loss, the bonds of kinship, and the love that had once united the two families. The villagers watched in awe as the shadows wove a tapestry of their history, reminding them of what had been lost. In that moment, Zora and Kale seized the opportunity to plead for understanding and reconciliation. They urged their families to let go of the hatred that had consumed them for so long. Zora and Kale were given a final test. The elders of both clans agreed to a challenge. If their love was true, they would need to retrieve a sacred artifact from the depths of the enchanted cave, a place rumored to be guarded by the spirits of the lost. The artifact was said to hold the power to heal the village and lift the curse. Determined, Zora and Kale ventured into the cave, guided by the whispers of the shadows. As they navigated the treacherous terrain, they faced their fears and doubts, testing the strength of their bond. They encountered challenges that forced them to rely on each other, strengthening their love with each obstacle they overcame. At the heart of the cave, they found the sacred artifact, a luminescent crystal that pulsed with energy. As they reached for it, the spirits of the lost materialized, challenging them to prove their worth. Zora and Kale shared their story, their struggles, and the love that had brought them together despite their family's enmity. Moved by their determination and sincerity, the spirits granted them the crystal, blessing them with the strength to break the curse. As they exited the cave, the shadows danced joyfully around them, celebrating their triumph. With the sacred artifact in hand, Zora and Kale returned to Ebonwood, where the clans awaited them. Tensions were high, but their hearts were resolute. They presented the artifact to the villagers, explaining how it symbolized healing, unity, and the power of love. The shadows swirled around them, casting a soft glow that illuminated the darkened hearts of the villagers. Zora's father, moved by his daughter's bravery, stepped forward and extended a hand toward Kale, urging the other villagers to follow suit. In that moment of unity, Zora and Kale held the crystal aloft. The shadows spiraled upward, intertwining with the light of the crystal, creating a breathtaking display that enveloped the entire village. As the brilliance washed over the villagers, a wave of peace and understanding settled among them. The curse that had gripped Ebonwood for generations began to dissolve, lifting the veil of animosity that had divided the clans. The villagers felt lighter, their hearts unburdened, as the shadows transformed into gentle whispers of hope and reconciliation. With the curse lifted, the villagers celebrated Zora and Kale's love, recognizing it as the catalyst for their newfound harmony. The clans embraced one another, setting aside their differences and forging a new bond, one that honored the past while embracing a brighter future. Zora and Kale stood at the forefront of this transformation, their love a beacon of hope for all. The shadows, once seen as harbingers of fear, became symbols of unity and strength, a reminder of the power of love to heal even the deepest wounds. As time passed, the story of Zora and Kale became a cherished legend in Ebonwood. The village thrived, and the shadows that once danced in the periphery now brought comfort and guidance to those willing to listen. Zora continued to communicate with them, using her gift to foster understanding and compassion among the villagers. In this new era, the shadows were no longer feared but celebrated, and the bond between the Lorans and Moros remained strong. Zora and Kale's love story served as a reminder of the importance of empathy, connection, and the courage to break down barriers. Years later, As Zora and Kale watched their children play in the meadows, the shadows danced around them, a living testament to the legacy they had built. The sun set on the horizon, casting long shadows that intertwined with the vibrant colors of the dusk sky. Zora smiled, knowing that their journey had only just begun. The shadows would continue to tell their stories, guide their people, and inspire future generations to embrace love, understanding, and the magic that lies within the unseen.